The path offered me enough power to save my clan, but only if I stepped through the gate alone and left every person I loved to die. I had 60 breaths to decide. That was what the silver characters floating above the mountain said. 60 breaths until Ascension Gate collapse. One may enter. All others will be erased. Behind me, 300 survivors crowded onto the narrow summit. My mother held my little brother against her chest. Elder Shen leaned on a broken spear. Children cried beneath torn banners while the darkness climbed the mountain below us. It did not move like fire. Fire consumed what it touched. This darkness removed things. Trees vanished without falling. Stones disappeared without sound. People caught at the edge did not scream for long. Even the memory of their faces began slipping away. The hundredfold path had awakened beneath our valley, and it was collecting every life built above it. Everyone on the summit believed the Ascension Gate could save us. Then the gate declared that only one person could pass. Everyone looked at me. Not because I was the strongest. Because I was the weakest. My name is Ren Yao, and for 17 years, my clan treated me like an accounting error. Every disciple of the Ashen Reed clan received a path mark at birth. A sword. A flame. A beast. Something that revealed the road their soul was meant to walk. My mark was an empty circle. The elders called it a failed awakening. The children called me hollow. My father died insisting the mark meant something. After his funeral, the clan stopped pretending to agree. I carried water. Cleaned training yards. Repaired practice targets after talented disciples destroyed them. When spirit beasts attacked the lower farms, I was given a wooden spear and told to stand behind the real cultivators. Then the mountain opened. It began at dawn with a bell no one had built. One note rolled across the valley, deep enough to shake dust from the ancestral tablets. A staircase of black stone rose from the ground outside the clan gates. It climbed through the clouds toward a summit that had not existed the night before. Above the first step floated a message. The hundredfold path has returned. Ascend or be forgotten. The darkness followed soon after. Every village in the valley fled toward the staircase. Rival clans arrived with wounded disciples and terrified families. Old feuds vanished beneath a greater fear. The path gave us one rule. Keep climbing. Anyone who stopped for more than 100 heartbeats disappeared. At first, the strong surged ahead. They mocked the elderly. Abandoned the injured. Threw supplies away to lighten their loads. Then the trials began. The first landing demanded strength. The second demanded speed. The third demanded that someone remain behind to hold a gate open. At every stage, the powerful chose who was expendable. Servants. Crippled disciples. Farmers. People like me. At the seventh landing, Elder Shen ordered me to hold a chain while the clan crossed a bridge of floating blades. The chain was cutting through my hands. The bridge was collapsing. He promised someone would come back for me. No one did. I survived because my empty mark absorbed the blood on the chain and revealed a hidden inscription. One who is abandoned may walk the roads others cannot see. A second bridge appeared beneath the first. That was when I began to understand. My mark was not empty. It was unfinished. Every time someone sacrificed me, excluded me, or left me behind, another line appeared inside the circle. At the ninth landing, my cousin Ji unlocked me outside a shelter during a storm of spirit needles. A new line formed. At the 12th, Elder Shen took my water and gave it to his favored disciple. Another line formed. At the 15th, my own mother begged me to distract a shadow beast so my brother could escape. The mark gained a third ring. I did it. Of course I did. My brother was 9. He had never called me hollow. By the time we reached the summit, the empty circle on my wrist had become a maze of silver roads. No one noticed. They were too busy staring at the Ascension Gate. It stood at the summit like a doorway cut into the sky. Beyond it waited a field of white grass beneath two moons. Spirit energy poured through the opening so dense that every cultivator began trembling. One step through that gate could transform a mortal into something greater. Perhaps something immortal. Then the words appeared. One may enter. All others will be erased. For several breaths, no one moved. Then everyone began shouting. Clan leaders claimed seniority. Disciples raised weapons. Parents held their children tighter. Some argued that the strongest should enter and return later with enough power to stop the darkness. Others argued that a child should go because they had the most life left. No one offered to stay willingly. Elder Shen struck his spear against the stone. Silence. His voice rolled across the summit. The clan obeyed out of habit. He pointed at me. The gate has responded to the hollow boy since we arrived. His mark is connected to the path. Every eye turned toward my wrist. The silver maze was glowing now. My mother's face changed. For one terrible moment, she looked proud. Then Elder Shen continued. He should enter. Murmurs spread through the crowd. I stared at him. You want me to take the power? No, he said. I want you to open the gate fully from the other side. The hope on my mother's face sharpened. Elder Shen stepped closer. The trial says one may enter. It does not say one must remain there. You will cross, seize whatever inheritance waits beyond, and force the gate open for the rest of us. And if I cannot? His eyes hardened. Then at least the clan's least valuable life will have been spent testing the way. There it was. The truth they had carried up every step. Even now, with the world ending beneath us, I was still the life they could afford to gamble. My brother pulled away from my mother and grabbed my sleeve. Do not go. Elder Shen's favored disciple, Jian, seized him by the shoulder. He has to. My brother kicked him. Jian slapped him hard enough to knock him down. Something inside me went quiet. Not angry. Quiet. The kind of quiet that comes when a final thread snaps. My mother rushed to my brother, but she did not confront Jian. She looked at me instead. Yao, she whispered. You can save us. I looked at the people around her. The elder who had abandoned me on the bridge. The cousin who had locked me outside the shelter. The disciples who had eaten while I starved. The villagers who had watched and said nothing because cruelty was easier to endure when it happened to someone else. But I also saw my brother. Children who did not know my name. Farmers who had shared food with me during the climb. An old woman I had carried for 3 landings after her sons died. Good people stood among the cruel. That made the decision worse. The gate pulsed. 50 breaths remain. A voice entered my thoughts. It was not loud. It sounded like footsteps moving through a distant hall. Choose yourself. I turned toward the white field beyond the gate. What happens if I cross? I asked. The answer appeared inside my glowing mark. The abandoned heir shall inherit the 100-fold path. All bonds to the lower road shall be severed. No return. No rescue. No opening the gate. If I entered, everyone behind me would die. I would gain power beyond anything our clan had known, but I would gain it by leaving them. Jian saw the answer reflected in the air. His expression twisted. He cannot be trusted. He drew his sword. If this story has you listening this far, subscribe to Azure Inkblade so the next chapter finds you instead of getting buried. It helps us keep making more of these every week. Now, back to the chapter. Elder Shen blocked him with one hand. Not yet. Not yet. As if they were already deciding when to kill me. I faced the crowd. The gate cannot be reopened, I said. Whoever enters survives. Everyone else is erased. Panic broke across the summit. People surged toward the doorway. An invisible force threw them back. Only I remained standing. The gate had chosen me. Or the path had. My mother crawled forward. Yao, please. For what? Her mouth opened. No answer came. I wanted her to say she was sorry. I wanted Elder Shen to kneel. I wanted Jian to admit that every cruel thing they had done was wrong. Instead, my mother said, "Your brother deserves to live." I laughed once. It sounded broken. So do I. The summit went silent. No one had expected me to say it. Perhaps I had never said it before. Elder Shen's grip tightened around his spear. Your duty is to the clan. My duty? I asked. Where was the clan's duty when you left me holding the chain? That was necessary. When Jian locked me outside. A regrettable mistake. When you gave away my water. The strong had to survive. I raised my glowing wrist. Now I am the strong one. His face paled. The words struck harder than a weapon because every person there understood them. The rules had changed. The disposable boy held the only choice that mattered. 40 breaths remain. That was the question the path placed before me. Would I sacrifice myself for people who had spent my entire life sacrificing me? Or would I step through the gate and become the monster they already believed I was? What would you have done? Saved the innocent beside the guilty, even knowing no one would remember your sacrifice? Or chosen the first life no one else had ever chosen? Your own. I wish I could say I knew the answer immediately. I did not. I looked at my brother. He pushed himself upright, blood on his lip. He was crying, but he met my eyes. Go, he said. My mother stared at him. What? He shook free of her grip. He always stays for us. Every time. Nobody stays for him. Jian struck him again. This time I moved. The space between us folded. One moment I stood beside the gate. The next, my hand was around Jian's wrist. His sword stopped inches from my brother's face. Silver roads spread from my mark across Jian's arm. I felt every choice he had made on the mountain. Every person he had shoved aside. Every ration he had stolen. Every lie he had told himself afterward. The hundredfold path did not grant strength through meditation. It multiplied consequences. Jian tried to pull away. I tightened my grip. His cultivation vanished. Not destroyed. Returned. Every stolen advantage flowed out of him and scattered across the summit in threads of light. The injured straightened. The exhausted breathed deeper. My brother's bruised face cleared. Jian collapsed. My empty mark had never been waiting to receive power. It had been waiting to judge how power was used. The gate trembled. A new message appeared. The heir has awakened. One may enter. One may choose who counts as one. I stared at the words. Then I understood the trick. The gate had never demanded that I abandon everyone. It demanded that I define what I carried with me. The old masters of the path had built the trial around a cultivator's deepest belief. A selfish person would see a single body. A ruler might see a kingdom. A teacher might see every student who carried their lessons. The path was asking what I considered part of myself. 30 breaths remained. Elder Shen saw the realization in my face. What does it mean? I looked at him. It means the gate can save everyone I accept as part of my road. Hope exploded across the summit. People rushed toward me. They apologized. Praised me. Called me heir, savior, young master. The same mouths that had called me hollow now begged to become part of me. Jian dragged himself across the stone. Cousin, please. I looked down at him. He had tried to kill my brother moments earlier. Elder Shen had spent years teaching the clan that weakness deserved abandonment. Now they wanted mercy because they were weak. My mark pulsed. I could include them. I could exclude them. The path would accept either choice. That was the true horror. No divine judge would stop me. No hidden law required forgiveness. I could save the innocent and leave my tormentors to the darkness. Most of the summit would probably cheer once they realized they were safe. 20 breaths remained. My brother stepped beside me. You do not have to save Jian. I know. Are you going to? I watched the darkness swallow the final stair below the summit. I thought about every moment I had wanted my clan to feel what I felt. Abandoned. Unwanted. Powerless while someone else decided whether my life mattered. Now I could give them that lesson. The path waited. So did everyone else. I placed my hand against the gate. I choose those who will walk without leaving others behind. Silver light spread across the summit. It passed through the farmers first. The servants. The wounded disciples who had shared medicine. The parents holding children. The old woman I had carried. It reached my brother. My mother. Then it stopped before Elder Shen and Jian. Their faces collapsed. Elder Shen fell to his knees. Ren Yao, mercy. I could have ended it there. Part of me wanted to. Instead, I changed the choice. I also choose those willing to become better than they were. The silver light touched Elder Shen. Then Jian. It did not welcome them gently. Their memories opened across the summit. Every selfish act. Every betrayal. Every excuse. The clan saw all of it. So did they. Jian screamed, not from pain, but from finally experiencing the fear he had caused. Elder Shen bowed until his forehead touched stone. The path did not erase their guilt. It made them carry it. That was the price of entering my road. The gate expanded. White light consumed the summit a heartbeat before the darkness reached us. When I opened my eyes, 300 survivors stood beneath twin moons. The white grass bent toward us. Mountains floated upside down in the distance. Rivers wound through the sky. Ancient roads crossed the heavens like silver scars. Behind us, the gate disappeared. Our valley was gone. Perhaps our whole world was gone. But we remained. Elder Shen removed the clan seal from his robes and placed it at my feet. You are the path heir, he said. I picked up the seal. Then I crushed it. No more heirs. No more disposable disciples. We walk together, or we do not walk at all. Some looked relieved. Others looked afraid. Good. A better path should frighten anyone who benefited from the old one. The silver maze on my wrist opened like an eye. Across the white field, thousands of roads ignited. Each led toward a different inheritance. Each promised power. Each demanded a choice. Then figures appeared on the road behind me. Men and women in robes from forgotten eras. Sword masters without names. Healers whose teachings had been erased. Rebels, saints, failures, and traitors condemned by the very sects they had built. They climbed from the vanished world in total silence. My brother stared past my shoulder. Yao, he whispered. Who are they? I already knew. The hundredfold path had not chosen me because I was empty. It chose me because I could carry what others abandoned. I turned toward the waiting roads. And behind me climbed every teacher the path had ever erased. For more original cultivation stories set in the Hundredfold Path universe, follow Azure Inkblade on YouTube and read The Hundredfold Path on Royal Road. The next road is already waiting.